What's up with it, y'all? Now, I've been absent on this mug for a minute, but hey, we finna jump right into it. We finna start talking about what really is spiritual warfare? Because let me tell you something. Everybody got their own little definition of what it is. Let me tell you something. Spiritual warfare, let me tell you something. If you affect the hearts and minds of people, you feel me, man? Listen, if you affect the hearts and minds of people, listen, let me tell you what I mean by that. The hearts, you know what I'm talking about? If you hit stuff they really, really feel, stuff they really care about, stuff they really appreciate, then you attack the mind, how they think, how they process information, you know what I'm talking about? You listen, you can control people. And guess what? The more you do that, the more you constantly, you know what I'm talking about, the more those two things are constantly attacked and bombarded with a whole bunch of BS that they don't need to be, you know what I'm saying, that they don't need to be messing with, or they don't need to have brought upon them. Listen, that in turn messes up the spirit. Y'all ever heard that 333 or the Holy Trinity or whatever y'all want to call it? The mind, body, soul, and spirit. You see what I'm saying? Let me tell you something. You mess up their mind and you mess up their heart. Let me tell you something. A lot of times their spirit still may have an undying will. But let me tell you something. Your spirit may have an undying will, but let me tell you something. The spirit it's a part of us, but it's still a separate thing. That's why they always try to get them together, the Trinity and all that crazy shit, right? Now look, I said that to say this. The spirit might have an undying will, but the mind and the heart is so messed up. It's like it's stuff clouding it. Like y'all know how y'all lose something? And y'all gotta search under a whole bunch of shit in order to find what y'all done lost. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's like the spirit's still there, but it's too clouded and fogged by all the other crap it has been bombarded and berated with. And I think that's how you say it, berated or whatever. You know what I'm talking about. So I feel like, you know what I'm talking about, spiritual warfare. Let me tell you something. We all know who doing it. You could be in a relationship and be under spiritual attack right now, and you don't even know it. Or you probably do know it. You see what I'm saying? Your spirit might be desperately trying to break away from it. Like, let me give you examples of what the spirit try to do. You try to ask random people about situations. Or you start to vent randomly to people. And a lot of times the people around you might feel like you keep nagging them about a certain relationship or a certain friendship or a certain issue going on in your life. And they can see it from a much clearer perspective because they're not emotionally or mentally tied to it. And they seeing you going through that's why they get to start saying, man, you ain't acting like yourself. You acting out of character. I don't know. This ain't like so and so. You under spiritual attack. Your mind and your heart is messed up, and you know what it's corroded. It's in a disarray type of energy. It's like, oh my God, I don't know what's going on. Now your spirit. And what is spirit? Spirit basically means breath, honestly. But we know what they be trying to use, you know what I'm saying, the word spirit for. Let me tell you something. The way they be trying to use spirit is basically kind of like the soul type of energy. You know what I'm talking about? Because the thing about it is, your soul's expression can't really be up to par to where it want to be if the two outer things that are outside of it, the heart and the mind, is not intact. You gotta remember, your soul wants to express the stuff it wants to express. You know what I'm talking about? So when we talk about being on spiritual warfare, y'all, people really under this shit. People really under spiritual warfare. People really under that. If you get parents nagging you, listen, like say for instance, I want to do so-and-so, but I keep hearing I can't, or I keep hearing a lot of discrediting things or a lot of disheartening things, and now I'm like, you know what? I don't even want to do it. But let me tell you something. Years ago past, and I still have that internal craving feeling to the things that people put me down about. That's why they always say, do what you love, have fun doing what you love. Y'all, that's true. Find you a way to make some money off doing what you love. You know what I'm saying? Have you a good time. Because let me tell you something. Sometimes, listen, this is called spiritual warfare for a reason. Sometimes you can have your spirit killed off to where it's like you just a shell, an empty vessel, an empty shell, walking around, roaming around, don't know what to do. People do spiritual warfare every day. Let me tell you something. The more your partner lie to you, or the more you lie to your partner, and they feel it and they receive it and they understand and they believe that you are on some bullshit, you spiritually attacking them. They soul probably want to express itself a certain way with you, or yours probably want to express itself a certain way with them, but you can't because the actions of your partner is messing up your thought processes, how you think about them, and it's messing up your heart because it's like shit. Y'all like them folks. They be like, I love them, but I don't know. Y'all be hearing how that be sounding. The heart and the mind is being clouded. That's why a lot of people say, hey, you letting so-and-so cloud your judgment. You letting a certain situation cloud your judgment. Listen, the soul wants to express itself. The soul is that dynamic, fiery energy. And for all y'all know I do astrology. I do astrology real good. Hey, as a matter of fact, go follow me on TikTok at Revelation Kane. Go follow me on Facebook at Rex Kane, Twitter at Rex Kane, and Instagram at Rex Kane with 2 N's at the end. But I say that to say this, y'all. Look, spiritual warfare is real, man. Let me tell you something. A lot of people just don't care. The government on you with spiritual warfare, especially. Listen. Spiritual warfare is called that for a reason. It's a war. It's a war within. Spiritual warfare is a war within. A lot of y'all worrying about all these demonic entities and stuff. Listen, that's the least of a lot of y'all problems. Let me tell you something. The first motherfucking problem you got, the first problem that you more than likely is going to have is going to be with these other people. It's going to be with people outside of you. Majority of y'all ain't got to worry about no demonic influences. You got to worry about demonic people. Real talk. Demonic people who don't think they demonic. They think they doing something helpful. They are under attack. Your parents and all. Let me tell you something. Isolate yourself away from people that you feel steer you from your path, and surround yourself with people that support your path fully and emotionally support your path. Not just clapping when you come across the finish line, but like really happy. Like, yeah, I'm glad she made it. I'm glad he made it. Y'all, this is what spiritual warfare, man. It's the attack on the hearts and minds of people and the suppression of the soul. Hey, I'm finished. Holla at me.